Welcome friends, it's Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. My cards today feature the Kendra card challenge, and I am making 5 cards, and they are all 5x7 cards, so I'm adapting the size to a larger card. If you're not familiar with the Kendra card challenge, I will link to details in the description bar below. So with the Kendra card challenge, you take 6 pieces of 6x6 pattern paper and make 15 cards using the free downloadable template that Kendra puts together each quarter. So you can join us over on Facebook to learn how to play along with the challenge and enter to win some amazing prizes. In today's video, I will be using Digi Designs by Polkadoodles, one of our sponsors of KCC12. Let's get started with our first card. I have pre-cut all of my my card stock, and starting with this lovely poinsettia background. I've made adjustments to my sketches, and this is a 4.5 by 6.5 red mat, and I am going to place over top a 4.25 by 6.25 blue mat. Okay, and normally if I am if I'm using double-sided tape, normally I will I don't know if you can see my faceted snowflake embossing on this. Not that it needed it, but I thought it would give it just a little more texture, so I did run that through a 3D embossing folder. Okay, so normally if I am using double-sided adhesive, I do start kind of the top of my card first and then add it to the mats. So I kind of got sidetracked right now because I'm using liquid glue. As you can see, I'm not following sketch 1 exactly, but am taking my inspiration from this sketch. This is a landscape sketch, but I am making my card portrait style. In addition to the images, I'm also using pattern paper and sentiments from Polkadoodles, and these are all in digital format, and I just print them on my 65-pound Nina cardstock, and either use my scan and cut to cut them out, or dies, shape dies, either way, or fussy cut when I'm in the mood to fussy cut. The good thing is that I can print the pattern paper 8x8, and this is perfect for my larger cards where I want to use larger than 6x6 papers. As always, I will leave a link to all of the products I use in today's video. Because I embossed the pattern paper, I don't have a clear place to place my 3 embellishments per the sketch, and I am cutting a banner small banner, and will affix that with some liquid glue and place my embellishments on that smooth surface of the banner. For card number 2, I have cut my mat, my green mat, to 5 by 7, and here I am putting together my 2 squares and have cut a circle out of one of them as per the instructions. And I have cut my squares to 3 by 3 and the mat, green mat, to 3 1/4 for those squares. So bigger than what's in the design because I've got more real estate that I'm working with since my cards are larger. And then I have placed my acrylic block over top. I have cut my focal image to 2 3/4, the green mat to a 3-inch square. I've cut my white cardstock to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I have embossed it with my Spellbinders in the Pines embossing folder. I ended up using a low profile glue dot on the right end of my sentiment strip because it needed a little extra, but foam tape would have been too thick, and I just needed a little lift to keep everything level on my panel. I've used double-sided tape on the back of my white panel and partially released it and added liquid adhesive to the released tape areas so that when I stick it to my mat or place it on my mat, it doesn't fully stick down until I commit it. That gives me wiggle room to make sure I get it aligned just so. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to my green mat when I place it onto my card base. Here I'm placing some Elizabeth Crafts gold peel-offs onto my card and using my Wink of Stella to add some glitter to my little bear's body, his face, hands, and feet, or her. Ooh, the bear is so cute. But that finishes this card. I also added Wink of Stella to some of the bows on the tree. So now to card number 3 with what I'm calling the twisted circles. I actually watched a video by Anna over at Papercraft and Create, and she made some templates out of copy paper and did easily explain the circles. So I am doing the same, and what I have are 4 circles. I have 3-inch circles, I have 2 3/4 and 2 1/2, and then 2-inch circles. Circle dies. And I might add that I didn't use the circles that I had previously cut. I just recut my 4 circles because I had it in my mind I would prepare them in a different way. So mine are larger because I am making a larger card. And because this is the size that I have, the nesting size, because you do want nesting circles. Or you can use a punch and or a round object and freestyle draw these out and cut them out. First, I cut 2 3-inch circles. Okay, and then I cut 2 2 3/4 inch circles. Okay, so just 2 sizes, and I have labeled them 3-inch, 2-inch, and then 2 3/4 and 2 1/2, because I'm going to use, those are the sizes I'm going to use to cut my all of my circles. Okay, I folded my templates in half so that I have semicircles. And so I'm going to take my 3-inch semicircle and place it on the back of my pattern paper and use it to make a line with my pencil, a cut line with my pencil. And that is where I will cut for my 3-inch circle or 3-inch semicircle. Next, I bring in my 2-inch semicircle and my 2-inch die and just line that up with my pattern paper, and I will tape it down to hold it in place and run that through my die cutting machine. And remember, we have 2 circles, 2 3-inch circles the same size, so I will do the same for both. I am using low tack tape. This is actually wall tape by Scotch, and I am loving it for not peeling my cardstock after I've die cut and I take it off of my cardstock. Okay, beautiful. See how that cuts? I'm going to put a 2 behind this so that I keep my sizes straight. I will speed this up a bit because it's the same for this next set of circles. I will cut my second set of circles from my 2 3/4 inch cutouts, and of course then use the second semicircle, or use the semicircle that's left over to cut my 2 1/2 inch, just like I did with my first set of circles. I will admit these twisted circles were intimidating at first, but I think this card turns out to be my favorite, actually. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite card. Next, I'm bringing in my Distress Mica stain spray in Merrymint. And this has a pearlescent sheen. It's so cute. I am just using using that stain to spray my panel just to give it some color. I did emboss it in using that same Spellbinders in the Pines embossing folder, and this dries very fast. So while that is drying, I will go ahead and start assembling my card. I did bring in my heat tool to speed up the drying of my main panel. I am going to start at the top of my bar or my strip that's in the middle, and place my largest semicircle on top, and then go the next smallest or the next size down, and following the sketch, I want more on the, I want it flush left so that more on the right side shows of that pattern paper. And gonna do that for all of my semicircles, and then we'll do the same thing below my strip. I don't end up getting mine all lined up perfect, but this design is so forgiving. And I ended up flipping my panel, so you will see that right around here. That once I turn it over to add my circles, then that's the side, or to add my second set of circles, that's the side that I will end up using as my top. I did cut my sentiment circle to 1.5, and then the red mat, it's what is 2 inches. And again, these are sentiments from Polkadoodles. I will be sure to leave links below to all of the products I used. If you're interested in joining the challenge, please check us out over on Facebook. I will leave links in the description bar below with more detailed information. There will be a link to Kendra's intro video that shows you how to cut all of your pattern paper pieces. And just another note, the challenge runs through December 31st of this year. It is a 1/4, 3-month challenge. I added a leftover piece from my foam square paper that I wanted to use, even though I'd used all of the foam from it. I used the residual here for the top of my bear, and then liquid glue on the bottom just to level that out on my panel. I will show close-ups of all of my cards at the end of the video, as well as on my blog, so be sure to check that out. So for card number 4, I have cut a, you'll see that I'm matting my white cardstock that I've embossed with the same Spellbinders in the Pines embossing folder. And that white panel is 4¼ by 6¼ and the red mat is 4½ by 6½. And so I am making my card design portrait style for this sketch. And so here I am placing some thin strips of foam tape on each end of my vertical pattern paper, which I've matted and cut another mat out of the center for my sentiment. So placing that, and then we'll position that, and I'm using liquid glue to affix it throughout, and then we'll come in and figure out the placement of my large focal almost square and turn it over and place or use my pencil to measure out, or mark, I should say, mark where I want to put my foam tape. So the other side of my panel will just be affixed with liquid glue. And this is how I make sure that, you know, with all the matting that I'm doing, I make sure that my everything is level. I am using the No Peeking Bear with Tree again, but I've made it larger, and I've cut it out using my Scan and Cut, and cut it out 2 additional times just with the blank cardstock, just so that I can affix it together and stack those and add some texture to it. I've made the image larger. So here I come in with my Wink of Stella pen to add some glitter and shine to my bear, as well as areas of his cap and the Christmas tree, and then apply some Elizabeth Crafts gold peel-offs to add even more sparkle and shine. For my 5th and final card for this video, I have used the MFT tall snow globe die to cut out from this red pattern paper, an arched shape. My top pattern paper pieces are 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. And the bottom pattern paper pieces are 4 by 2 1/4. My red mat is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Once I get these placed where I want them, I put my magnets over top to hold them in place. I have a metal table underneath my workspace here, so that is what's holding my magnets in place. So in doing this voiceover, I discovered that for whatever reason I cannot seem to download the rest of the footage for this card. So I did cut 2 additional blanks from the arched snow globe die, and I stacked all of that behind my penguin focal image to give it some depth and dimension. And then came back in with my Elizabeth Craft gold peel off stickers to add some shine. I added my Wink of Stella gold glitter pen and a sentiment, a Polkadoodle sentiment to finish off the card. Now let's take a look at all of the cards I made in today's video. I hope you liked the video and will give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if not already a subscriber. I will be back soon with more cards with the rest of the sketches from this challenge. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, good day, friends.